Welcome back to the Midnight Library, a sanctuary of calm where history, business, self-development, and spiritual wisdom are gently transformed into soothing bedtime stories. Each evening, we open a new book and a new door into a story designed not just to inform, but to relax your mind, calm your body, and speak quietly to your subconscious. Tonight's book is a powerful and urgent one, Uncontrolled Spread by Scott Gottlieb, a former commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, a physician, policymaker, and a leading voice in American healthcare. A respected contributor to CNBC and a board member at Pfizer, Gottlieb has spent decades at the intersection of medicine, science, and public health strategy. In 2021, he was recognized by Time magazine as one of the 50 people transforming healthcare. In Uncontrolled Spread, Gottlieb unpacks the full story of why COVID-19 overwhelmed the United States, and how we can be better prepared next time. Before we begin, take a deep breath. Settle in. Adjust your volume low, and allow the Midnight Library to guide you gently into rest, learning, and reflection. We publish new stories each week, and if you enjoy tonight's journey, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know where in the world you're listening from. It's always wonderful to see how far the Midnight Library travels. And if you have a request for a book you'd like to hear, we'd love to know. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1, A Warning Unheard. It began with whispers. Not of alarm, but of uncertainty. In January 2020, Scott Gottlieb exchanged quiet, concerned messages with a colleague in the White House. They were worried. A strange new virus had emerged in China, mysterious, swift, and silent. It wasn't the first time the world had seen such warnings. SARS, MERS, Ebola. But this time felt different. The virus, SARS-CoV-2, moved quickly. And early information was scarce, vague, and often misleading. China's official narrative was calm, no need for panic. No clear evidence of human-to-human transmission. Just a local food market incident. But behind the scenes, hospitals in Wuhan were filling. Genetic samples showed something new. And doctors were sounding quiet alarms, until their voices were silenced. It was the beginning of something vast. And no one was prepared. Chapter 2, Time Lost, Trust Broken. As the virus spread, the truth lagged behind. It wasn't until March 11, 2020, months after the virus had landed in the US, that the World Health Organization declared a pandemic. By then, it was everywhere. In Seattle. In Chicago. In homes, hospitals, airports, moving faster than information could catch it. The US had no coordinated testing system. Only the CDC could process tests. And its capacity was quickly overwhelmed. Doctors had to wait days for results. Contact tracing was almost impossible. Testing kits were slow to arrive, and when they did, many were flawed. The virus wasn't just spreading through bodies. It was spreading through the cracks in a system that wasn't ready. Chapter 3: Prepared for the wrong crisis. America wasn't unprepared for everything. It had plans, but for the wrong kind of threat. The playbook had been built around influenza. And around bioterrorism. It focused on surface cleaning and hand hygiene, not airborne contagion. It anticipated symptoms, not silent carriers. COVID-19 wasn't like the flu. And the tools designed to stop it didn't. There was no national database. No rapid contact tracing. No early distribution of masks or protective equipment. It wasn't a lack of resources. It was a lack of vision. Chapter 4: The CDC, stretched too thin. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is a respected agency. But it wasn't built for speed. It's designed to study the past, not to act in the moment. The CDC was asked to do something it had never done: develop, produce, and distribute rapid tests for an unknown virus. It wasn't ready. The first test kits were faulty. The supply chain was fragile. And weeks turned into months. Meanwhile, the virus kept moving. Faster than guidelines. Faster than decisions. America was responding to a crisis in real time, with tools designed for another era. Chapter 5: A Leadership Void. The failures weren't only scientific. Mixed messages from political leaders created confusion. Mask wearing became a debate. Lockdowns varied from state to state. Public trust began to erode. Even inside the White House, safety measures were ignored. And critical tools like antigen tests were delayed and misused. It was a leadership vacuum. At the very moment leadership mattered most. Chapter 6: A Study in Contrast, South Korea. Across the ocean, a different story was unfolding. South Korea had learned from a past crisis, the MERS outbreak of 2015. It had built testing centers, stockpiled supplies, and created a system to approve tests within days. When COVID-19 appeared, they acted. Within weeks, South Korea was testing 20,000 people a day. America took 4 months to reach the same scale. They shared data. They traced contacts. They contained outbreaks. The US had time. But time, once lost, cannot be reclaimed. Chapter 7: What the Future Demands. There was a bright spot. Vaccines, especially the mRNA platforms, worked. Science met the moment. Moderna and Pfizer developed solutions at record speed. But science alone can't save us next time. Public health must be treated as a national security priority. America needs a permanent agency, one with the authority, funding, and agility to act. Not after the crisis starts, but before it begins. It must be able to test, trace, and communicate transparently. It must learn from the past and plan for what's next. Because there will be a next. Final summary. Uncontrolled spread is not just a post-mortem. It is a warning. And a blueprint. America was caught unprepared. Not because the danger was invisible, but because we didn't look closely enough. Didn't act quickly enough. Didn't lead with clarity. The next threat may be different. But the lesson remains the same. Preparation is power. Coordination is survival. And trust, in institutions, in science, in one another, is everything. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know where you're listening from. It's always beautiful to see how the Midnight Library connects people from around the world. And if there's a book you'd love to hear adapted, we'd love to hear your request. We upload new stories regularly, transforming history, business, and wisdom into gentle journeys for the soul. Until next time, rest well. And may your dreams carry you forward in peace and clarity. Good night and sweet dreams. Welcome back to the Midnight Library. Before we begin tonight's story, take a moment to get comfortable. Turn your volume down low, just a whisper of sound. Just enough to guide you gently into rest, and maybe a little learning too. Because the Midnight Library is not like any ordinary library, this is a special place, a quiet, dreamlike corner of the world, where we take some of the most powerful books ever written, from the worlds of business, spirituality, self-development, and even politics, and transform them into calming, soothing sleep stories. Stories that not only help you relax, but speak softly to your subconscious, planting seeds of insight, confidence, and clarity while you drift away. So whether you're here to rest, to recharge, or to grow, you're in the right place. And we'd love to know where you're listening from. It's always so inspiring to hear how this quiet little library brings people together. From London to Lagos, New York to New Delhi. So feel free to drop a comment or message with your location. And if there's a book you'd love to hear featured in a future sleep story, don't be shy, let us know. Your requests help shape this journey. Now, with that said, let's gently open the pages of tonight's book. This story is inspired by the book The Power of Self-Confidence by Brian Tracy, a man who has dedicated his life to understanding what makes people successful and will explore one of the most quietly powerful forces you possess, self-confidence. Tracy wasn't born into wealth or confidence. In fact, he started with very little, a high school dropout working manual jobs. But through study, discipline, and relentless action, he transformed his life. He became a respected speaker, best-selling author, an advisor to leaders across the world. His books, like Eat That Frog and No Excuses, have helped millions focus, believe in themselves, and succeed. And the power of self-confidence is a quiet reminder that everything starts inside. It's about learning to believe in your ability to grow, to handle what comes, and to become the person you've always known you could be. So now, let's begin. Chapter 1: The Seed of Confidence. Confidence doesn't begin with success. It begins with belief. According to Brian Tracy, your thoughts are the blueprint of your life. What you think about most, especially what you believe about yourself, becomes the foundation of your reality. This is the law of concentration. What you focus on grows. Imagine your thoughts like tiny seeds. Each time you tell yourself, "I can do this," that seed takes root. And every time you repeat it, the roots grow deeper. You may not feel confident yet. That's okay. But you can act with confidence, speak a little clearer, stand a little taller, and the feeling often follows. This is called the law of reversibility. Action creates emotion. And then, there's integrity, living by your own values, even when it's hard. The more your actions match who you want to be, the stronger your self-belief becomes. So tonight, as you rest, plant those seeds. I am worthy. I am strong. I am capable. Let them settle into the quiet soil of your mind. Chapter 2. Goals create direction. Think of happiness, Tracy says, not as a destination, but as a side effect, a byproduct of meaningful progress. That's the law of indirect effort. Confidence doesn't come from chasing it directly. It grows as you do hard things, as you reach toward meaningful goals. One small goal, written clearly, spoken daily, can change your life. And the more specific your goals, the more your mind focuses on helping you achieve them. Vague dreams bring vague results. Clear goals create clear momentum. So write them down. I am healthy and full of energy. I earn a living doing what I love. I am becoming more confident every day. Speak them in the present tense. Your subconscious mind will begin to believe them. And when you believe, you act. What's one goal that, if achieved, would transform everything? Hold it gently now in your thoughts as you drift off, and know, you're already on the path. Chapter 3. Mastery builds confidence. You don't need to be perfect. But if you aim to improve just 1% every day, the results over time will be extraordinary. Confidence grows from competence. The more you master a skill, the more confident you feel in using it. And this applies to everything: speaking, parenting, selling, writing, leading. Find your strengths. What do you enjoy? What comes naturally? Lean into that, and then stretch. Practice. Study. Fail. Learn. Improve. Grandma Moses began painting at 78. She became world famous. Not because she had decades of training, but because she believed it wasn't too late to try. What if your next chapter is just beginning? Chapter 4. Belief is a self-fulfilling prophecy. There's a story of a man saved not by money, but by belief. A stranger gave him a signed check for $500,000, but the man never cashed it. Just knowing he had a safety net gave him the courage to take risks, negotiate better, and rebuild his business. A year later, he learned the check was fake, but it didn't matter. The belief had already changed his reality. This is the law of belief. What you believe becomes your truth. So surround yourself with uplifting people. Speak to yourself with kindness. Replace every "I can't" with "I'm learning." Use affirmations and visualization to see yourself succeeding, growing, thriving. Tonight, imagine a scene, one where you speak clearly in front of a group. Or finish a project. Or walk into a room knowing you belong. See it. Feel it. And believe it. Your subconscious is always listening. Chapter 5. Focus on your strengths. The path to confidence isn't paved with fixing flaws, but by building on what's already strong. What do you love doing? Where do you feel most alive? According to Brian Tracy, lasting success comes when you lean into your natural talents and let them grow. Focus there. Build there. Let your Weaknesses fall away like old leaves. Take inventory. Write down what you're good at. Think of times when you felt in flow. Look at patterns. That's where your power lies. Confidence doesn't mean doing everything. It means knowing what you do best and doing it well. Chapter 6: Adversity is your teacher. Every successful person has a secret. They've failed. A lot. Confidence isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about growing stronger because of them. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. But each attempt taught him something. Failure wasn't the opposite of success, it was the path. So plan for setbacks. See them as part of the journey. Each time you fall and get up, your confidence grows. Adversity is a forge. It shapes you. It strengthens you. It teaches resilience. Tonight, let go of the fear of failure. Trust that every stumble leads forward. You're not behind. You're in progress. Chapter 7: Action creates certainty. Here is the heart of Tracy's message. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you do. Action is the answer. Action dissolves fear. Action builds momentum. Start where you are. Identify the one thing holding you back, then face it. One step. One call. One message. One decision. Then another. And another. This is the difference between positive thinking and positive knowing. Knowing that, no matter what happens, you can handle it. Because you've done it before. And you'll do it again. Repeat the rhythm daily: desire, decision, determination, and discipline. For quiet forces that, together, build an unstoppable you. And remember, no one else will do it for you. But you are more than ready. Closing reflections from the Midnight Library. And now, as you rest here, in this quiet space, know this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. But you do need to begin. Begin by believing. Begin by deciding. Begin by acting. Because every time you choose courage over fear, every time you choose progress over perfection, you strengthen your confidence. Bit by bit, breath by breath, you are becoming the person you were meant to be. So rest now, with that quiet knowing. That inner power is rising. And your next chapter will be written with strength, grace, and belief. Good night, and sweet dreams. Welcome back to the Midnight Library. Before we begin tonight's story, take a moment to lower your volume until it's just a soft whisper, gentle enough to carry you peacefully into sleep, but clear enough that your mind can drift alongside us. Tonight, we explore Be the Love by Sarah Prout, an inspiring author, speaker, and host of the popular Manifest podcast. Sarah's journey is truly remarkable. Once a single mother surviving on welfare, struggling through an abusive relationship, she dared to believe there was more waiting for her, and through heart-based healing, emotional empowerment, and the art of manifestation, she transformed her life. Today, she teaches people all around the world how to tap into their own inner magic and manifest the happiness and love they deserve. In Be the Love, she shares 7 powerful ways to unlock your heart and create the life you dream of. And so, as you get comfortable, as your body settles, allow your mind to gently open as we drift into her beautiful wisdom. Tonight, we remind ourselves, you are love. You are worthy. You are whole. Chapter 1, You Are Worthy. It all begins with this simple, yet profound truth. You are worthy. Worthy of love. Of happiness. Of everything you desire. Sarah shares her own journey, from being stuck in a painful marriage to becoming a single mother, struggling to feed her children. There were days when dinner was nothing more than pasta and ketchup. And yet, something deep within her, a whisper of her soul, kept repeating, I am worthy. Affirmations became her anchor. Simple, repeated words. I am worthy. I am enough. I am deserving of love, joy, and abundance. As you lie here tonight, whisper this to yourself. I am worthy. Say it as if you believe it. Because it's true. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Sarah reminds us that so many of us carry silent wounds, shame, self-doubt, feelings of being undeserving. But every time you choose to repeat an affirmation, every time you choose compassion over judgment, you are rewriting those stories. It's not easy. It takes practice. But it's worth it. Because you are worthy of love. Chapter 2, You Are Intuitive. The second truth Sarah shares is this. You are intuitive. That inner voice, your gut feeling, it's there. Always whispering, guiding you toward what is meant for you. In our busy, noisy world, we often forget how to hear it. Social media, endless scrolling, comparison, it clouds our connection. Sarah invites us to turn down the noise, to walk outside, to breathe the air, and reconnect with the natural world. The trees don't ask if they're enough. The stars don't compare themselves. And you don't need to either. Sit with your journal. Write down the little nudges, the hunches. Over time, you'll see, your intuition knows the way. Trust it. Trust yourself. Chapter 3, You Are Ready. You are ready. Ready for love. Ready for joy. Ready for change. It's human nature to fear the unknown. To cling to the familiar, even when it hurts. We tell ourselves stories. I'm not ready. It's not the right time. What if I fail? Sarah knows this feeling well. She remembers trembling before stepping onto a stage for the first time. Her voice shaking. Her hands cold. She failed. And then she tried again. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking the step anyway. So tonight, ask yourself, what is waiting for you on the other side of your fear? What joy, what dream, what love? And remind yourself, I am ready.
Chapter 4. You are whole. You are whole. We live in a world that profits from making us feel broken. Magazines, media, even the stories we tell ourselves. But you are not broken. You are whole. Life has its seasons, the joyful summers, the quiet winters, the sunny days and the storms. But none of it means you are less than whole. Sarah reminds us that it's okay to feel everything: grief, anger, joy, love. It's all part of the human experience. Don't run from the hard feelings. Sit with them. Breathe through them. They will pass. And as they pass, you'll see you were never broken. Only growing. Chapter 5. You have surrendered. There is a quiet power in surrender. We carry so much: regrets, fears, expectations, control. But what if, just for tonight, you set it all down? Sarah tells a story of the moment her body told her it was time to let go. A tightness in her chest, a weight of worry, all from trying to control what was never hers to hold. The doctor said simply, "Cry. Let it go." And so she did. And she healed. What are you carrying tonight that is too heavy? Breathe it out. Release it to the universe. Surrender isn't weakness, it is trust. Trust that the universe, life, love, they are all guiding you. Chapter 6. You are intentional. Your words are magic. Sarah reminds us that the ancient word abracadabra means I create as I speak. Every word you say, to yourself, to others, is a spell you cast into the universe. So choose carefully. Speak love. Speak abundance. Speak joy. Instead of saying, I don't want to be broke, say, I welcome abundance. Instead of, I'm tired of being alone, say, I am open to love. Feel the difference? Tonight, whisper your dreams into the air. Let the universe hear what you truly desire. Chapter 7. You are love. And finally, the most beautiful truth. You are love. Not something you have to chase, not something you have to earn, but something you already are. Sarah reminds us that love is the energy of the universe, flowing through us, connecting us, waiting for us to remember. And when you remember, when you feel that love within you, everything changes. Meditation, breath, even something as simple as placing your hand over your heart, these are ways to return to love. Sarah once visualized her dreams, seeing her art in stores, her name on bookshelves. And one by one, those dreams came true. Because when you be the love, when you live as though what you desire is already yours, magic happens. Final summary. And so, my friend, as you drift into sleep, remember these truths. You are worthy. You are intuitive. You are ready. You are whole. You can surrender. You are intentional. And above all, you are love. The universe is listening. Everything you desire is already making its way toward you. Rest now. Trust. And dream sweetly. Good night, and sweet dreams.
Welcome back to the Midnight Library. Before we begin tonight's story, I invite you to turn the volume down low, just soft enough that my voice is a gentle companion, fading into the background, guiding you toward a restful sleep. Tonight, we drift into the calming world of simple rules, inspired by the insightful book Simple Rules: How to Thrive in a Complex World, written by Donald Sull and Kathleen Eisenhart. A little about the authors. To begin our journey, Donald Sull is a professor, management thinker, and expert on strategy and execution in turbulent markets. He once taught at Harvard Business School and later at the London Business School, helping business leaders navigate complexity with clarity. His research has focused on how simplicity, when done right, leads to agility and success, even in fast-changing worlds. His co-author, Kathleen Eisenhart, is a professor at Stanford School of Engineering, where she blends strategy, innovation, and simplicity, helping entrepreneurs and leaders thrive in chaos. She's an award-winning researcher, celebrated for turning complicated ideas into practical tools anyone can use. Together, they wrote Simple Rules to remind us that life, work, and even love don't have to be so hard. Beneath the noise, the endless choices, and the heavy instruction manuals, there's a simpler way. Tonight, we'll explore their ideas, weaving them gently into stories, reflections, and examples, designed to relax your mind and invite sleep. Our world is undeniably complex. Each day, we face choices, distractions, and tasks far beyond what our ancestors could have imagined. The internet offers unlimited information, but also endless confusion. Our calendars fill with meetings, reminders, and goals, until we forget why we set them in the first place. Even something as simple as choosing what to eat becomes a maze of nutrition labels, diet plans, and expert opinions. In times like these, we crave simplicity, and that's where simple rules come in, like quiet signposts guiding us through the fog. Not hundreds of rules, but just a handful, easy to remember, easy to live by, freeing us to focus on what matters most. Imagine for a moment, you're a doctor in a military field hospital. A wave of injured soldiers arrives, all needing help, some urgently. There's no time for deep analysis, no space for consulting thick medical manuals. Instead, you turn to a simple rule, a triage principle known the world over. Check the vital signs, prioritize the patients whose lives you can still save, and move quickly. Simple, focused, life-saving. It's in moments like these that complexity fades and clarity shines. Simple rules are everywhere in nature. Take the Japanese honeybee, faced with a deadly hornet. One bee alone is no match, but together they follow a simple rule: swarm the hornet, vibrate their wings, and generate heat. Slowly, the hornet overheats, and the hive is saved. No meetings, no plans, just one rule, known by all. Humans have their own simple rules, sometimes unspoken, sometimes passed down through generations. Consider the French, with their rich, butter-laden cuisine. Yet, they have far lower rates of obesity than many other nations. Why? It turns out, they follow a quiet, powerful rule. Stop eating when you feel full. Not when the plate is empty or the dessert arrives, but when the body says, enough. Simple, natural, and so effective. The authors share how companies thrive, not by adding rules, but by stripping them away. Look at Zipcar, a car-sharing company built on trust, and just 6 rules. Refill the gas. Clean up after yourself. Return the car on time. Nothing more. And because it's simple, people follow, and the system works. Complexity, melts away. Artists, too, flourish with simple rules. Claude Monet, the master of light and color, set quiet boundaries for himself. Paint what you love. Haystacks, lilies, light on water. Return again and again, not chasing novelty, but exploring depth. And in that repetition came genius. His simple rule made room for beauty. The comedian Tina Fey, known for her quick wit and brilliant writing, created her own rules, learned from years at Saturday Night Live. Mix the Harvard nerds with Chicago improvisers and stir. Never tell a crazy person they're crazy. Simple, clear, and surprisingly profound. These little rules helped her create shows, manage teams, and build a legendary career. Simple rules don't just guide art or comedy, they shape financial wisdom too. For centuries, investors have followed a timeless rule. Divide your wealth, 1/3 in land, 1/3 in business, and 1/3 in cash. No fancy formulas, no complex predictions, just balance, simplicity, and a long view. Even in love, simple rules guide us. One couple shared their 2 golden rules for a long, happy marriage. Always kiss goodnight. Never argue when tired. They followed these rules for 50 years, finding peace even through life storms. Simple rules work because they free our minds. They reduce decision fatigue, the hidden drain we all feel when overwhelmed by choices. Think of a favorite outfit you wear often, a go-to breakfast, a daily walk. These are your simple rules, creating space for bigger dreams and deeper rest. But like all good things, simple rules must evolve. What worked once may not work forever. The founders of Airbnb learned this early. They thought their users would be young backpackers chasing festivals. But as time passed, they discovered their guests were older, wealthier, craving comfort. So, they changed their simple rules. Always provide fresh soap. Make it feel like home. And with that, the company flourished. And so, tonight, as you rest, perhaps, you'll dream of your own simple rules. What gentle guidelines might ease your days and lighten your heart? Maybe it's no phones after dinner. Walk every morning. Speak kindly, always. They don't have to be perfect or rigid, just enough to guide you through this beautiful, complex world. And remember, simple rules are not a cage. They are wings, giving you just enough structure to soar, to explore, to create, to rest. So now, as you drift further into sleep, know that you don't need to remember everything. You only need a few simple rules. The rest will wait for morning. From all of us here at the Midnight Library, good night and sweet dreams.
Welcome back to the Midnight Library, a place where the world slows down, where stories carry you gently toward rest, and where each tale is carefully chosen to calm your mind and soothe your soul. Tonight, we explore a story about discipline, purpose, and the magic that awaits when we greet the world before dawn. It's based on the powerful teachings of Robin Sharma, one of the world's leading thinkers in personal mastery and leadership. Robin is known for guiding millions toward better lives through books like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari and, of course, the 5 a.m. Club. His philosophy is simple yet profound. Own your morning, and you will own your life. And so, in tonight's story, we follow the journey of two seekers, a tired entrepreneur and a frustrated artist, as they stumble upon a mysterious billionaire with a secret worth far more than gold. Now, close your eyes, take a slow breath, and let me guide you into their world. Once upon a time, a restless entrepreneur found herself burned out, lost in the endless chase of deadlines and expectations. Meanwhile, an artist struggled, yearning to create something meaningful, but drowning in the noise of everyday life. Both of them, desperate for change, attended a conference led by a legendary speaker known only as the Spellbinder. He spoke of greatness, of untapped potential, of the life that waits just beyond our excuses. But it was after the speech when the real magic began. A stranger approached them, dressed plainly, his only hint of wealth a gleaming, rare watch. He was the billionaire, though you'd never know it, and he shared his secret softly, almost like a whisper. I didn't stumble into success. I built it each morning starting at 5 a.m. If you're ready to change your life, meet me tomorrow before the world wakes. And so, with hesitation and curiosity, the entrepreneur and the artist awoke the next morning long before the sun. To their surprise, a luxury car awaited, carrying them to a private jet, its sleek frame marked with 3 simple letters, 5AC. The 5 a.m. Club, the pilot explained with a smile, where ordinary people become extraordinary. As the jet soared into the sky, the billionaire began to share his greatest treasure, not his wealth, but his morning ritual. 5 a.m. is not just a time, it's a doorway. A doorway to peace, power, and possibility. He spoke of the greats who came before. Mozart, composing symphonies before the sun rose. Benjamin Franklin, who asked himself each morning, "What good shall I do today?" John Grisham, writing his first novels 1 page at a time before dawn. The world's quietest hours are when your mind is sharpest, your soul is clearest, and your dreams loudest. He explained the science behind the practice. When we rise early, our prefrontal cortex, the part that doubts and worries, goes quiet. What's left is pure creativity, clarity, and flow. It is a gift so few accept. The billionaire called it the victory hour, and within it lay the powerful 20/20/20 formula. The first 20 minutes, move. He urged them sweat, stretch, breathe. Sweat is the prayer of the strong, he smiled. With movement comes the release of stress, the birth of energy, and the awakening of the mind. He told them of his own ritual, running along empty beaches, lifting weights as the sky turned from black to gold, listening only to the sound of his breath and the rising sun. Motion creates emotion, he said, and emotion drives greatness. The next 20 minutes, reflect. Sit with yourself before the world gets a chance to pull you away. In this sacred pause, he journaled, wrote his gratitudes, acknowledged his fears. Pour your soul onto paper, and you'll lighten your heart. He spoke of ancient philosophers of Marcus Aurelius, who began each day writing his meditations, thoughts meant only for himself. This is how you lead yourself before you lead others. The final 20 minutes grow. Read, learn, feed your mind, because no empire was ever built on ignorance. He devoured biographies, lessons from leaders, wisdom of saints and scholars. Growth is non-negotiable. Stagnation is death. He told them of his favorite dawn rituals, listening to audiobooks, exploring new ideas, studying breakthroughs in science, psychology, and art. But the billionaire's wisdom didn't stop there. He revealed the 4 interior empires, often forgotten in the rush of modern life. Mind set, heart set, health set, and soul set. Most chase mindset alone, but that's only 1/4 of your true power. Mindset, training your mind to see opportunity, not obstacle. Heart set, healing your emotional life, so past pain doesn't poison future potential. He shared how each morning he forgave both himself and others. The heart unburdened is the heart that flies. Health set, caring for the body as the vehicle of your dreams. Because what good is brilliance if you're too tired, too sick to share it? He trained hard, ate clean, and rested deeply, knowing that longevity was the ultimate edge. Soul set, connecting with something greater, the part of us that remembers who we truly are. Each morning, I speak to the sky, reminding myself, I am not my fears, I am my dreams. The artist, wide-eyed, felt a stirring in his chest. The entrepreneur, for the first time in years, felt hope. And just when they thought the lessons were complete, the billionaire shared one final truth. Elite performance, he said, is not just about how you work, but how you rest. He spoke of the twin cycles of performance. Intense focus, followed by deep recovery. A farmer does not plant without resting the soil. So too must you rest, replenish, and renew. He shared his evening rituals, turning off screens by 8 p.m., sipping tea, reflecting on his wins, reading poetry, and sleeping like it was his superpower. As their journey came to a close, the sun rose over the ocean, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold. The billionaire smiled as the first light touched their faces. Remember this, the world belongs to those who rise while others sleep. Own your morning, own your life. Protect your first hour, and the rest will follow. And so, dear listener, as you lay quietly now, feel the story settle into your heart. Imagine the quiet of a new dawn, the air still, the sky endless. See yourself rising while the world sleeps, moving, breathing, reflecting, growing. Because within those hours lies the power to shape your destiny. And now, as sleep takes you gently, remember the final words whispered from the Midnight Library. Good night and sweet dreams. Welcome back to the Midnight Library. Tonight, we journey through the pages of 12 Rules for Life by Jordan B. Peterson, a timeless exploration of what it means to live meaningfully amidst life's inevitable chaos. As you settle into the softness of your pillow, let your breath slow, each inhale filling you with calm, each exhale releasing the worries of the day. Now, let us drift through the 12 rules, not as strict commands, but as quiet guideposts that invite us to live with intention, courage, and grace. Along the way, we'll explore the myths, stories, and examples that breathe life into these principles. About the author, Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist and professor, has spent decades studying what it means to be human, our struggles with suffering, meaning, and responsibility. Drawing from ancient myths, biblical stories, and psychological insights, he offers us these 12 rules as anchors, as lighthouses, to help us chart a steady course through the unpredictable seas of life. And so, our story begins. Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. We start with a simple physical act, posture. In the animal kingdom, lobsters fight for dominance. Victors expand, their bodies tall, their movements fluid. Defeated lobsters shrink, chemically altered, curling inward with lowered eyes. Humans, too, react to the world based on how we carry ourselves. Drooping shoulders tell your mind you are small, that you should avoid risk. But a lifted head, a proud chest, this changes everything. In moments of difficulty, a job interview, a tough conversation, a new challenge, imagine yourself upright, grounded, unshaken. Just like the lobsters, your body will tell your mind, I can handle this. Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. If your beloved pet was ill, you'd rush to the vet, fill the prescription, care tenderly for their recovery. Yet how often do we neglect our own well-being, skipping meals, dismissing sleep, ignoring the quiet voice asking for care? This rule is simple, but transformative. See yourself as someone worth caring for. Cook nourishing meals. Rest deeply. Offer yourself patience when you fall short. Remember, you are not less worthy than those you love. You deserve your own kindness. Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Friendship shapes our lives. And yet, many drift through relationships with those who diminish rather than elevate. Peterson shares the story of a childhood friend, bright, full of potential, who fell in with the wrong crowd. Years later, bitterness and resentment had replaced his youthful dreams. We've all seen it. The colleague who resents ambition, the friend who scoffs at dreams, pulling us downward. But real friends, the good ones, celebrate your victories, challenge you when you falter, and walk beside you as you grow. Ask yourself tonight, who cheers for your success? And who prefers you small? Seek the former. Gently step away from the latter. Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. In this age of endless comparison, where social media shows us the highlight reels of millions, it is easy to feel small. But the true measure of progress is personal. Who were you yesterday? Last year? 5 years ago, maybe you've faced heartbreak but learned resilience. Perhaps you've battled anxiety but showed up anyway. Celebrate these wins. Growth is often invisible, quiet, steady, unfolding slowly like a sunrise. Remember the story of the mountain climber. The summit seems distant, but when they turn around, they see how far they've come. Do the same.
See your own ascent.
Rule 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Parenting, the sacred task of guiding a young soul toward adulthood. It's tempting to avoid conflict, to let tantrums pass, to dismiss bad behavior as a phase. But children, wild and wonderful, crave boundaries. Imagine a child left to their own devices. No rules, no limits. They grow feral, lonely, unloved, not because no one cared, but because no one taught them how to live among others. Teach your children, gently, firmly, that kindness matters, that actions have consequences, and that they are capable of goodness. Raise them to be people you are proud of and that the world is grateful to know. Rule 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. The world is filled with injustice, war, corruption, cruelty. It's easy to blame, to point fingers outward, but Rule 6 turns the gaze inward. Before changing the world, clean your room, pay your debts, heal what is broken close to you. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, imprisoned unjustly in Soviet labor camps, did not curse the world. He reflected, what choices led me here? How can I still do good? His writings exposed the evils of the Gulag system, changing the world not with blame, but with courage. Tonight, think, what small thing can you set right tomorrow? Rule 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. The monkey and the cookie jar, a simple tale of greed. The monkey is caught, not by his captors, but by his own refusal to let go of what feels good now. We are all that monkey sometimes, clinging to comfort, avoiding sacrifice. But meaning, deep, soul-filling meaning, comes from choosing what is hard, from sacrificing what is easy. The parent who wakes at night for their child, the artist who labors over their craft, the student who studies late for a distant goal. Tonight, consider, what are you holding on to that keeps you trapped? What might you release to rise higher? Rule 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Lies are heavy. They grow until even we cannot tell where the truth ends and the story begins. Perhaps you know the weight of pretending, smiling when you're broken, agreeing when your soul screams no. Truth is lighter, sometimes painful, but freeing. It clarifies. It heals. Tonight, imagine laying down every lie, big or small, like setting down heavy stones. Feel the relief. Breathe easier. Tomorrow speak truth, kindly but surely. Watch how your world shifts. Rule 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. There is wisdom everywhere. In the old man's quiet stories, the child's curious questions, the stranger's tales. But most of us listen only to reply, waiting our turn to speak. Rule 9 invites us to listen, truly listen, to approach each conversation with wonder. What might I learn here? Socrates, the wisest man, knew only this: I know that I know nothing. In that humility lies endless learning. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. Vague words create vague lives. When we don't name our needs, our fears, our hopes, chaos grows. Consider a couple arguing over chores. One says, "You never help." But what if instead they said, "When you leave the dishes, I feel unseen"? Precision turns confusion into clarity. It builds bridges where walls once stood. Tonight, reflect. Where might you speak more clearly tomorrow? What unnamed truth waits on your tongue? Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. Risk is part of life. Boys and girls learning to skateboard, falling, scraping knees, they are learning courage. Too much safety stifles the soul. Peterson writes, "Don't bother them. Let them fall. Let them rise." Risk makes us human. Without it, there is no art, no invention, no love. Tonight, remember, protect what matters, but let yourself and those you love taste the wild edges of life. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. And finally, the softest rule. Life is hard. Loss waits for us all. But amidst the sorrow, there are moments of sweetness. A cat on the sidewalk, a golden sunset, laughter shared over coffee. These small joys are what make the struggle bearable. They are proof that beauty survives, always. Tonight, recall the small, good things, a kind word, a gentle breeze, the softness of your bed. Rest in that gratitude. Final reflections, finding meaning in chaos. And so, as you drift toward sleep, remember, life is neither perfect nor fair, but it is full of meaning if we choose to see it. Stand tall. Speak truth.
Care deeply.
Choose meaning. And when the world grows dark, find the nearest small joy and hold it close. The Midnight Library thanks you for joining us tonight. May you sleep peacefully, knowing that in this vast, chaotic world, you have rules to guide you and light enough to find your way. Sleep well and sweet dreams. good evening, and welcome back to the Midnight Library, a place where wisdom meets calm and where powerful stories guide you gently into rest. Tonight, we journey into a story of resilience, personal power, and self-reliance. Inspired by the book, The 7 Rules of Self-Reliance by Maha Bolinian, this is a story not of grand victories or lucky breaks, but of quiet persistence, subtle choices, and the remarkable strength that grows when you learn to rely on no one but yourself. As you settle into bed, feel your body grow heavy and relaxed. Take a slow breath, releasing the day's worries. Tonight, allow this story to carry you, a story about navigating life's challenges, embracing uncertainty, and finding power in places you may not have expected. Let us begin. About the author. Maha Bolinian is a master of building bridges between cultures, between people, and between challenge and opportunity. Born into an Egyptian-American family, she learned early on how to navigate different worlds. Throughout her career, Maha has stood at the intersection of global brands and cultural nuance, helping giants like Google and Netflix understand the Middle East. She has walked into rooms filled with uncertainty and come out with clarity. She's turned what seemed like small moments into powerful turning points. Through her story, Maha shows us that real influence, real power, comes not from waiting for opportunity, but from creating it. And tonight, you will hear how. The 7 Rules, an introduction to self-reliance. What is self-reliance? It is the ability to create value from the world around you, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It is trusting your instincts when others hesitate. It is knowing that the best opportunities don't just arrive, they're made. Maha's 7 rules of self-reliance are not complicated. They are simple but profound. As you hear them tonight, imagine your own life, the moments where these rules may already live, waiting for you to notice. The 7 rules are: 1. Stay low, keep moving. 2. Be a value creator. 3. Don't be a waiter. 4. Unlearn, relearn, and invest in yourself. 5. Protect your reputation. It is your currency. 6. Be a long-term player. 7. Live with no regrets. Now, let's explore what each means slowly, gently, so that with each rule, you drift deeper into reflection and then into rest. Number 1, stay low, keep moving. Imagine young Maha, newly back in Egypt after years of education in America, being offered a small job as an office manager. Overqualified, overeducated. It felt beneath her, but her father gave her a different way to see it. The office was that of a billionaire businessman, a place where information flowed, decisions were made, and relationships were born. And Maha saw the opportunity. She stayed low, but she kept moving. She learned the business. Every hallway conversation became a lesson. Every small task, a way to prove her worth. And in time, she found herself not on the sidelines, but in the center of monumental deals, like a historic telecom acquisition that would reshape Africa. The lesson? Sometimes the grandest journeys begin in the smallest, humblest rooms. True self-reliance means being willing to start anywhere, knowing that forward is forward, no matter how small the step. Number 2, be a value creator. As you breathe deeply, think about this. In every situation, you have 2 choices. You can wait for someone to give you value, or you can create it yourself. Maha learned this working with Gary Vaynerchuk. Without being asked, she studied his business. She learned his needs. She mapped an entire plan for how he could break into the Middle East market. She didn't wait for permission. She created value, unprompted, unseen, and it paid off. Creating value doesn't require grand gestures. It starts with a mindset, waking up each day asking, how can I serve? Not out of desperation, but out of strength. Because those who create value become invaluable. Number 3, don't be a waiter. In life, many sit by, waiting for their turn, waiting for the right moment, the right person, the perfect opportunity. But Maha's rule is simple: don't wait. She proved this at the NFL's Super Bowl radio row. Others stuck to the script, interviewing athletes. Maha saw something more, an opportunity to create viral content, to build stories that would resonate far beyond the stadium. She moved first, acted fast, created magic. The truth is, those who wait often wait forever. But those who move, those who act, are the ones the world remembers. Number 4, unlearn, relearn, and invest in yourself. As the world shifts, so too must you. Maha learned this the hard way, in the heart of the Arab Spring. One of Google's marketing managers helped spark the revolution, unknowingly dragging the global company into chaos. The old rules of public relations, of corporate silence, no longer applied. Maha and her team had to unlearn what they knew and quickly learn new ways to lead, to connect, and to care. They trained journalists. They launched new products in Arabic. They proved that in the face of change, those who survive are not the strongest, but the most adaptable. Invest in yourself. Learn, unlearn, and learn again, because growth never ends. Number 5, your reputation is your currency. Reputation is quiet. It is built not when people watch, but when no one does. It is your currency, and you carry it everywhere. Maha guarded hers fiercely. She knew that each action, each word, each choice, added to or took from her invisible bank. The people you trust, the promises you keep, the kindness you show, they build something greater than money. They build a name. And in the end, your name will open doors that no resume can. Number 6, be a long-term player. The most powerful players in life are the ones who see beyond the now. They are patient,
strategic,
willing to plant seeds they may never see bloom. Maha learned this caring for her parents, her father with ALS, her mother with multiple sclerosis. For over a decade, she managed teams of nurses, building a private medical system around them while building her business. She didn't choose between the two. She played the long game, balancing grief and ambition, knowing that what she built in those years would outlast any temporary reward. Long-term players don't chase wins. They build legacies. And finally, the deepest lesson of all. Number 7, live with no regrets. Life will challenge you. It will hurt you. It will test you. But every scar, every story becomes part of your strength. Maha learned to see every moment, even the hardest ones, as a gift, a chance to learn, a chance to grow. She transformed simple acts, like turning apricot juice into ice cubes so her father could taste Ramadan again, into moments of love, memory, and resilience. Live with no regrets. Your story is unfolding exactly as it should. Final reflections. What machines cannot do. As you drift further now, there is one more truth to leave you with. We exist in a world of algorithms, of machines that learn, that calculate, that predict. But no machine can feel what you feel. No technology can build the quiet trust, the deep relationships, the human strength that self-reliance creates. The future does not belong to the fastest or the smartest, but to those who know who they are, those who can create value, weather storms, and walk their own path, steady and unshaken. And so, as you sleep, remember this. You are stronger than you know. Your greatest skills are not those you list on a resume, but those that live quietly inside you. Your patience, your kindness, your willingness to begin again and again, no matter how many times the world changes. That is self-reliance. Good night from the Midnight Library. Thank you for joining us tonight. Wherever you are, in a quiet room, a bustling city, or a distant place, know that you carry within you the tools to shape your future. Rest now, peacefully, and when you wake, carry these lessons with you. We'll see you tomorrow for another journey. Good night and sweet dreams. Welcome back to Sleep Books at the Midnight Library, where we transform insightful nonfiction into calming bedtime stories designed to lull you into restful sleep while expanding your mind. Tonight, we'll explore the art of harnessing your attention with hyperfocus by Chris Bailey. Imagine discovering a way to cut through distractions and unlock your full potential without burning out. It's a concept that could transform the way you work and think. As we drift into tonight's story, let your thoughts slow down and your mind begin to soften. Feel the weight of the day slip from your shoulders as each breath carries you closer to a state of calm. Settle in, adjust your pillow, and sink into the warmth of your blankets as we journey into the world of focus and creativity. Remember, you can find a full copy of the book through the links in our description. Don't forget to share where you're tuning in from. We love hearing from our global community. And as always, we're open to your suggestions for future stories. Now take a deep breath and relax as we begin. About the author. Our guide through this topic is Chris Bailey, a Canadian productivity expert, writer, and consultant whose work has been featured in publications like the New York Times, Harvard Business Review, and the National Post. Known for his practical insights and relatable approach, Bailey has spent years studying how attention and focus shape productivity. After turning down lucrative job offers to explore productivity full-time, he conducted a year-long experiment, testing different techniques to improve his performance and well-being. His findings culminated in his first book, The Productivity Project, which offered actionable tips for getting more done without burning out. With hyperfocus, Bailey takes this exploration even further, delving into the science of attention and revealing how mastering your focus can transform both your work and your life. 5 key takeaways. 1. Hyperfocus is the key to productivity. By directing your full attention to one meaningful task, you can accomplish more in less time. 2. Meta-awareness strengthens focus. Becoming aware of where your mind is at any given moment helps you maintain control over your attention. 3. Minimizing distractions is essential. Creating a distraction-free environment allows you to maintain focus and avoid mental clutter. 4. Scatter focus fuels creativity. Allowing your mind to wander can lead to unexpected insights and connections. 5. Nourishing your mind is crucial. The quality of the information you consume directly affects your ability to think clearly and creatively. Now, let's delve deeper into these insights and discover how they can help you unlock your potential. 1. Hyperfocus, the key to productivity. Imagine a day where you're fully immersed in your work. Time seems to fly by as you accomplish task after task. This state is known as hyperfocus, and it's more accessible than you might think. Unlike multitasking, which scatters your attention, hyperfocus involves directing all your mental energy toward a single, meaningful task. Picture yourself at a large wooden desk, bathed in soft, natural light. Outside the window, the gentle hum of distant birdsong blends with the faint rustle of leaves in the breeze. A steaming cup of coffee sits beside you, its rich aroma adding a sense of comfort and warmth to the moment. As you sit down to work, your mind becomes calm and clear. Each task feels more manageable, as if a fog has lifted, revealing a clear path forward. To enter this state, Begin by selecting one task that matters most. Remove any distractions from your environment. Silence your phone. Close unnecessary tabs and clear your workspace. As you work, your mind may wander, but gently guide it back to the task at hand. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to maintain focus, making it easier to slip into hyperfocus whenever you need to be productive. But hyperfocus isn't just about getting more done. It's about doing your best work. When you give your full attention to a task, you bring more creativity, insight, and precision to the process. Whether you're writing an article, designing a project, or solving a complex problem, the clarity that comes with hyperfocus allows you to see connections and solutions that might otherwise remain hidden. 2. Meta-awareness. Strengthening your focus. Picture your mind as a spotlight, illuminating whatever you direct it toward. Meta-awareness is the ability to notice where your spotlight is pointing and adjust it as needed. Often, our thoughts drift without us realizing it. Daydreams, worries, and random memories compete for our attention. By practicing meta-awareness, you become more conscious of these distractions, allowing you to refocus before your mind wanders too far. Imagine sitting by a tranquil lake, its surface smooth and still, reflecting the sky above. Each thought that drifts into your mind is like a pebble dropped into the water, creating ripples that spread outward. Meta-awareness allows you to notice these ripples without becoming lost in them. You simply acknowledge each thought, then gently guide your focus back to the present moment. Try setting a gentle reminder, perhaps a chime every hour, to pause and ask yourself, where is my attention right now? If your thoughts have drifted, simply guide them back to the task at hand. This simple habit strengthens your ability to stay present, enhancing both your productivity and sense of control. Over time, you'll find that your mind becomes more resilient, better able to resist distractions and maintain focus even in challenging situations. 3. Minimizing distractions, creating a focus-friendly environment. Distractions are the enemy of focus. Whether it's the ping of a notification or the lure of social media, even small interruptions can break your concentration. The solution is to proactively eliminate potential distractions before you begin working. Imagine preparing your space as if you're creating a sanctuary for your mind. The air is fresh and clear, free from the noise and clutter that can weigh you down. Your phone is placed out of sight, its silent presence no longer pulling at your attention. The soft glow of a lamp creates a sense of warmth and focus, while the gentle hum of background music, perhaps the soothing notes of classical piano, enhances your concentration without distracting from your work. Start by silencing your phone or placing it in another room. Close any apps or browser tabs that aren't essential to your task. If email is a constant source of interruption, check it only at designated times rather than leaving it open all day. For internal distractions, those stray thoughts that pop up uninvited, try jotting them down in a notebook to clear them from your mind. By creating a distraction-free environment, you make it easier to maintain focus and accomplish more in less time. This practice is especially important in today's digital world, where countless apps and platforms are designed to capture and hold your attention. By reclaiming control over your environment, You create a space where your mind can thrive, free from the constant pull of notifications and endless scrolling. 4. Scatter focus. Unlocking creativity through mind wandering. While hyperfocus is essential for productivity, it's not the only way to use your attention. Scatter focus, a state of relaxed, wandering thought, plays a crucial role in creativity and problem solving. Unlike hyperfocus, which narrows your attention, scatter focus allows your mind to roam freely, making unexpected connections between ideas. Picture yourself strolling through a sun-dappled forest, the soft crunch of leaves beneath your feet and the gentle breeze rustling through the trees. As you walk, your mind drifts from one thought to another. Memories, ideas, and fragments of conversation blending together in a way that feels both effortless and natural. This is scatter focus at work, allowing your brain to explore new connections and possibilities. There are 3 types of scatter focus. Capture mode, writing down everything that's on your mind to clear mental clutter. Imagine sitting with a notebook, capturing your thoughts as they arise, each word helping to free your mind and create space for new ideas. Problem crunching mode, reflecting on a specific problem and allowing your mind to explore different solutions. Picture yourself sitting beside a crackling fire, gazing into the flames as your thoughts circle a challenge, gradually uncovering new angles and insights. Habitual mode, engaging in simple, repetitive tasks like walking, showering, or washing dishes that free your mind to wander. These moments of quiet reflection often lead to unexpected bursts of creativity as your brain makes connections that might otherwise go unnoticed. By alternating between hyperfocus and scatter focus, you create a rhythm that balances productivity with creativity. This dynamic interplay allows you to tackle complex tasks with clarity and efficiency, while also giving your mind the freedom to explore new ideas and perspectives. 5. Nourishing your mind, consuming high-quality information. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant determines what grows. Just as nutrient-rich soil produces healthy plants, high-quality information fuels clear, creative thinking. In contrast, a steady diet of low-value content, endless social media scrolling, sensational news, and mindless entertainment clutters your mind and diminishes your ability to focus. Picture yourself tending to a lush, vibrant garden filled with colorful flowers and thriving plants. Each book you read, each podcast you listen to, and each conversation you have is like planting a new seed, one that will grow and flourish, enriching your thoughts and ideas. But just as weeds can choke a garden, low-quality information can crowd out your ability to think clearly and creatively. To nourish your mind, choose information that challenges and inspires you. Read books, listen to podcasts, and watch documentaries that align with your interests and goals. Seek out diverse perspectives to expand your thinking. At the same time, limit your exposure to content that drains your mental energy. By curating the information you consume, you create the conditions for deeper thinking and more meaningful insights. Imagine the difference between spending an evening scrolling through social media and one spent reading a book that sparks new ideas. The first leaves you feeling scattered and drained, while the second leaves you feeling energized and inspired. By choosing the latter, you cultivate a mind that is not only more focused, but also more creative, resilient, and capable of tackling life's challenges. Final summary. As you drift deeper into sleep, remember that the key to unlocking your potential lies in how you direct your attention. By mastering the art of hyperfocus, you can accomplish more in less time, while scatter focus allows your creativity to flourish. Meta-awareness helps you stay present, and eliminating distractions makes it easier to maintain focus. Finally, nourishing your mind with high-quality information ensures that your thoughts are clear and your ideas are inspired. Thank you for joining us tonight at Sleep Books at the Midnight Library. We hope you found tonight's story both relaxing and insightful. Don't forget to share where you're listening from and explore the links in our description for more information on tonight's book. Now, let your mind rest. Feel the weight of the day melt away as you sink into the comfort of your bed. Each breath carries you deeper into a state of calm as your thoughts begin to slow and soften. Tomorrow is a new day, full of potential and possibility. Until then, we wish you a peaceful night, deep dreams, and a well-rested morning. Good night and sweet dreams. Welcome back to Sleep Books at the Midnight Library, where we transform fascinating nonfiction into soothing bedtime stories. Tonight, we embark on a timeless journey, one that bends reality, challenges physics, and takes us beyond the limits of what we know. We're exploring Time Travel, a history by James Gleick, a book that traces the origins of time travel as an idea, from its birth in literature to its place in science, philosophy, and pop culture. As you settle into bed, allow your mind to drift. Imagine stepping into a mysterious time machine, one that could take you anywhere, to the past to witness history unfold, or to the future to glimpse the unknown wonders ahead. Would you visit the roaring 1920s to dance at a jazz club? Would you walk the streets of ancient Rome, surrounded by emperors and gladiators? Or perhaps you'd leap forward 1,000 years to see a world transformed by technology and interstellar exploration? Tonight, we will gently explore the history, paradoxes, and possibilities of time travel, all while helping you relax, unwind, and drift into deep sleep. If you'd like to read the full book, links are in the description below. And if you have suggestions for future sleep stories, we'd love to hear them. Now close your eyes, let your breathing slow, and allow your thoughts to float through time itself. About the author, James Gleick. James Gleick is a renowned science historian and writer, known for his ability to explain complex scientific concepts in a way that is gripping and accessible. His books explore chaos theory, physics, and the evolution of scientific thought, earning him multiple Pulitzer Prize nominations. In Time Travel, a History, Gleick takes us on an intellectual adventure, unraveling the ways in which humanity has imagined, explored, and debated the very nature of time itself. His work invites us to think differently about the past, the future, and the present moment, and tonight, we will let those ideas guide us into a peaceful and dreamy state of mind. The 5 key takeaways from the book. 1. Time travel is a relatively new concept in human history. While myths and legends hinted at glimpses into the future, the idea of physically moving through time only emerged a little over a century ago, popularized by H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, 1895. 2. Time travel has rules, and those rules create paradoxes. Over the years, writers and scientists have developed guidelines for how time travel might work, leading to fascinating paradoxes and logical challenges. 3. Einstein's theories changed how we think about time. Before Albert Einstein, time was seen as a constant, moving forward at the same speed for everyone. His theories of relativity revealed that time is flexible. It slows down when you travel faster. 4. Time travel creates paradoxes that challenge logic and causality. The famous grandfather paradox and butterfly effect highlight the mind-bending problems that come with changing the past. 5. We time travel every day through memory, literature, and technology. While physical time travel may not exist, we do it mentally all the time by remembering the past, imagining the future, and even using the internet. Now, let's explore these ideas in more depth and allow your mind to drift into the timeless rhythm of sleep. Exploring these key takeaways in detail. 1. Time travel is a new but powerful idea. Time travel feels like something that has always been part of human imagination, yet, for most of history, it didn't exist as a concept. Ancient civilizations believed in fate and prophecy, where the future was predetermined. But the idea of moving through time like space, backward and forward at will, was unheard of. Then, in 1895, H.G. Wells wrote The Time Machine, and everything changed. Wells imagined time as a flowing river, one that could be navigated with the right technology. Suddenly, time travel wasn't just a dream, it was a possibility. Tonight, as you drift deeper into relaxation, imagine yourself stepping into an elegant Victorian time machine, gears whirring, levers shifting, and feel yourself floating through the currents of time. 2. The rules of time travel and its paradoxes. As time travel became more popular in fiction, certain rules had to be established. Could you change the past? Would the future be set in stone? And then came the paradoxes, the mind-bending logical problems that time travel creates. The grandfather paradox. If you traveled back in time and prevented your grandparents from meeting, would you cease to exist? And if so, how could you have traveled back in the first place? The butterfly effect. A tiny change in the past, like stepping on a single butterfly, could have massive, unpredictable effects on the future. These paradoxes remind us of how delicate the fabric of time is, like a dream that shifts when you try to grasp it. So tonight, as you sink deeper into your pillows, allow your mind to let go of time altogether, floating in a place beyond past, present, and future. 3. Einstein's theories transform time itself. Before Einstein, time was thought to be constant and unchanging. Then came the theory of relativity, which revealed that time is actually malleable. It slows down the faster you move. Imagine you were on a spaceship traveling close to the speed of light. For you, only a few months might pass, but on Earth, decades could go by. This means that time travel, at least to the future, is theoretically possible. Tonight, imagine yourself drifting through the cosmos, watching the stars blur into streaks of light as time slows, and you drift further into a peaceful sleep. 4. The paradoxes of time travel challenge reality. If time travel were possible, wouldn't we already have visitors from the future? Stephen Hawking once humorously suggested that if time travel exists, we should throw a party and invite people from the future to attend. No one showed up. Does this mean time travel is impossible? Or simply that we haven't figured it out yet? These questions invite us to dream and wonder, just as you are doing now, letting your thoughts drift through the endless corridors of time. 5. We time travel every day through memory and technology. Memory allows us to revisit the past, reliving moments and reshaping them. Books, films, and photographs freeze time, letting us see the world as it once was. The internet and social media create a strange kind of time travel where the past can be altered or erased at will. In a way, we are all time travelers, moving through memories, experiences, and ideas that stretch across the ages. Final summary. Wishing you a peaceful and restful night. Let go of the present moment, drift into the timeless void of sleep, and allow yourself to travel through the landscapes of your dreams. Good night, and sweet dreams.